Hello, everybody. As Rick said, my name is Dominic Restucia. I'm a husband, father, common sense conservative, also running for Michigan's 50th State House District. So real quick, I'm going to lay out the district just a tad because Livingston County's been chopped up a little bit. So if you live in Howell, Fowlerville, Heartland, or Putnam's Precinct 1 and 2, as opposed to 3 and 4, you're in the district. They kind of split Pinckney right down the middle. If you're in Hamburg, you're in the 48th. So we're all gracious guests of our hosts here in the 48th District. So thank you for welcoming us. Just a little bit about me. My wife and I both grew up in the Brighton area. We were high school sweethearts that decided we wanted to settle down and start a family of our own right here in Livingston County. We both went to Hillsdale College. Just a little bit more about why I'm interested in running, what I think I can bring to the table. I'm a third-generation realtor, so I think I bring some good outsider perspective, small business experience. But I also have 7 years of legislative experience. Got my first job working for Congressman Mike Bishop, who represented Livingston County for several years. I remember being right up here at the Putnam Township Hall, a township over, during the opioid epidemic. And knowing now how it's become even worse with the fentanyl crisis, which is now the #1 cause of death for Americans and Michiganders that are 18 to 35. So the epidemic continues. These problems are still unsolved. From there, I went to work for Senator Mike Lee of Utah for 2 years as his national security advisor, working closely with the Trump administration on public policies such as border control, making our state and our country more prosperous again, and rebuilding our economy. 2020, moved back, went to work in the state senate on education policy for State Senator Alana Tice. 2022, went to work for the Tudor Dixon campaign, trying to see if we could have a Republican governor. We came up short. We can't keep failing if we're going to get our state headed back in the right direction. Because what I've seen going house to house, talking to people in the district, talking to people across Livingston County, is that when I say I believe the state's heading in the wrong direction, people say, you think? It's the whole country that's going in the wrong direction. And frankly, Michigan is the tip of the spear of all these problems. You can also see the bottom of the barrel. We're 49th out of 50 states in population growth. We're 49th out of 50 states for job growth. We have people leaving for states like Texas and Tennessee and Georgia, left, right, and center. I see it all the time in real estate. I'm a third-generation realtor. The most important part of my business right now is having referral partners in states that are more economically competitive than us. I just had a client who sold his house in Brighton. He was a Livingston County native his entire life. He said, I finally had enough of it, Dom. I can't afford to live here anymore. Sold his house, moved down to Kentucky. No income tax, lower sales tax, better property taxes, no pension tax. The title transfer tax fee was lower, so his closing was less expensive down in Kentucky. And meanwhile, the bright idea out of Lansing is to increase the title transfer tax fee to give MSHDA another $50 million a year of your taxpayer money to build subsidized housing. Because that is the Lansing mentality. It is, we're going to take your money, we know what's best for you, we'll take your money, we'll spend it on your behalf. And the people who benefit are the folks who ultimately are going to become more dependent upon government, who take advantage of these programs and these systems. We don't get people hands up anymore, we're giving them hands out. This does not encourage business. It doesn't encourage families. You look at the places that are comparable to Michigan right now. Look at the state of Georgia. State of Georgia is about the same for us population-wise. But they're growing while we're shrinking. They're attracting businesses and jobs. They're being pro-family and pro-business. Our families and our businesses are leaving. We're supposed to lose 700,000 people from the state of Michigan over the next 25 years. And this is what motivates me to run the most, is I have 2 little girls. And I tremble to think what this state is going to look like 25 years from now when they're deciding where they want to raise a family of their own, if we've let 1/10 of our population leave. And nobody has a plan to recruit and retain people to stay in this state and rebuild. And this is not just Democrat versus Republican. This is a bipartisan problem, and it's been driven by both Republicans and by Democrats. It is a total failure of leadership in this state. So what I'd like to do is focus on what we can actually accomplish together over the next few years. Because this is not something we're going to turn around overnight. So I'd appreciate your vote this August 6th.